What's up, YouTube? My name is Johnny Bannon with Trepid Technologies, and today is going to be a short video on VLAN trunk pruning. So click that link below to go to our Confluence how-to page, and let's get started. Alright guys, so first things first, let's click that link below and bring up our Confluence page. So we're going to go to trunking, and then trunk pruning, and then we're going to follow this how-to. So essentially what we're doing here, guys, is on our trunks, we know that that's what allows VLAN traffic, right? And we know, counting the standard and extended range, there's VLAN 1 to VLAN 4094. So by default, trunks allow all VLANs. But what we can do on the trunk is actually put an allowed list of only the VLANs we want. So this is just a little security mechanism, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And the common mistake that people do when using this command. So essentially this command is saying only allow these VLANs across the trunk. So when you want to add another VLAN to this list, let's say you make VLAN 50 for just your printers, right? Or for a new department that came into your office. Well, we're going to have to add that VLAN to this list. And what most people do, and I'll show you in the demonstration, is they'll just type in switch port trunk allowed VLAN 50, and that actually erases the old list and puts in that new list of just VLAN 50. So I'm going to show you the correct way to add a VLAN. So first things first, we got to set up our network environment, right? So I'm going to open up my GNS3 project with this lab. All right, let's start all these switches. Then I'm just going to be following my Confluence page, guys. So let's see what switches we're going to work on. So we're just going to be between switch 3 and switch 4, and we're just going to do this interface. So first things first, we're going to create our VLANs, right? All right. Let me get rid of these. All right, guys. So first thing we're going to do, go into global config mode. And then we're going to get into interface gig 00. We're going to set up our trunk. We're going to define what kind of encapsulation we want to use. Then we're going to make the operational mode trunk. We're going to turn off DTP, right, dynamic trunking protocol. And then we're going to do our trunk pruning. So the command is switch port trunk allowed VLAN, and then your list of VLANs, 10, 20, 30, 40. And then we're going to go back here. We're actually going to create those VLANs. We all know that VLAN 1 is actually our native VLAN, right? Which actually carries a lot of our other switch traffic like STP, CDP, DTP, stuff like that. Let's do some verification. Make sure that these VLANs are made. Awesome. Let's see if our trunk was formed. Do show interface trunk. It actually was. So on this side, we're probably doing DTP, and it probably automatically set up a trunk. Actually, it's still configured as a trunk. Okay, too easy, guys. So let's get into it. Do our lists. 1, 10, 20, 30, 40. Let's actually create these VLANs. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Something we didn't do on that. We need to make VLAN 50 here. All right, guys. So now let's do some verification. So first thing I'm going to do is do show interface trunk. And this is going to show us which VLANs are actually allowed on that trunk. So I just made VLAN 50 here, right? So let's actually go in. Let's make interface VLAN 50, right? IP address 192.168.1.1.255.50. No shut, and we'll shut off VLAN 1. Let's go do the same thing over here. We're actually going to assign VLAN 50 to an interface too. Interface gig 01. Actually, first, let's default, because I think I saved some configuration on here. do 1/0. Then we'll go into gig 1/0. We'll type in switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 50. Then we're going to do the same exact thing over here. We're going to shut down VLAN 1. Oops, VLAN 1. Shut. We're going to get rid of, I made interface VLAN 11 on accident. Then we're going to make the SVI for VLAN 50. Give it an IP address in the same subnet range. We're going to no shut it. We're going to default a port. Those messages are super annoying. Let me go into the line console real quick. Turn on synchronous. Exit. So we made our SVI. Now let's assign a port. Actually, we need a default first, right? Just to make sure. Go into that port. Assign it. VLAN 50. Okay. Now if we go to our trunk, right? Because this is all about trunk pruning. These are all the VLANs allowed on the trunk between switch 3 and switch 4. So if we do show IP interface brief, include up. This VLAN says up and up, VLAN 50, the SVI. See, we're getting an error over here. Trunk change 1, show IP trunk. We'll just ignore that for now. Do the same thing, try interface brief, include up. We see our VLANs are up, right? Our SVIs. Now let's try pinging each other, and nothing. And that is because our layer 2 is blocked right now. Let's go into gig 00. Let's make the mistake that a lot of people do when they try to add a VLAN to that trunk. Okay. So this is the common mistake that you don't want to do, because you see when we do that, now only VLAN 50 is allowed. So one thing you can do, if we go back to our original one, we can do this, retype in everything, or we can do switch port trunk allowed VLAN add 50, or there's even another way. We can allow all VLANs except, right? And then we could, let's say we're only using VLAN 101 to 102. We could do 1. So let's say we didn't want to do VLANs 500 and 501. That's the only ones we didn't want allowed. We could do VLAN 500, 501. Then if we come down here to show interface trunk, VLANs allowed, everything but those 2 VLANs. So a couple different ways we can do this here. The key point of this video is not to make that mistake that a lot of new network engineers do. Still not able to ping. Well, look at there. Because it's not allowed on this side. Let's go into our interface. Let's do this the right way, right? Switch port trunk, allowed, VLAN, add 50. Now let's look at our trunk. Boom. Now let's hope this ping works. It's never that easy, right guys? I believe we turn that on. Up and up. See if we can see in our CDPs. Looks like CDP is only enabled there. Let's go ahead and enable CDP on this interface. CDP enable. Exit. show CDP neighbors. Let's look at the configuration here. Okay. Show interface 0. Alright guys, let's actually just delete gig01 right here. Gig00 change down. So why is that? That was the wrong port. Let's delete that again. Now to reconnect on gig00. Alright guys, gig00 is up. Let's try that ping one more time. So now we're good. Alright, so now we can ping across, guys. See here, we missed we're 80%. We missed a ICMP message because of ARP. But that's all there is to trunk pruning. So remember, you can do it this way with the accept, or you can do it this way where you explicitly allow just these. And you always want to type in that add command when you want to add a VLAN to this list of allowed VLANs right here. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I want to thank you guys for viewing, and from everyone here at Tripit Technologies, remember to keep learning every single day. Thank you.